Audio Jungle.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Don't worry. Are we Jamie? He'll be coming back so we can have a Phoenix
Yeah.
again.
Join us.
We'll, again, like we did last week, we'll just wait 5 minutes before we start anything. Because, see if anybody joins our merry band.
Yeah.
I'll just finish off doing the work that I should have done during the week. For tonight.
We all have lives, Keith.
Shh, what a life. There is no life. New Hope is a life. I think. Oh, look at that. 5 people watching us. Nice with a start. Jeebus. Caught me off guard there. I was busy doing something else.
Well, hello to those 5 people. Welcome.
Hello. Oh, here we go. Facebook user says, "Hi, folks." Hi, Facebook user. So,
Is it only you that can see that, Keith?
do you not ask me this every week?
I do ask you this every week because I can't see anything.
It's you should be able to see it. It's on the right side of your screen. It should be. Or do you just have like?
Is it live comments I go to?
Comments.
Yeah. Okay, I've got it. I do ask this every week. I'm a total technophobe. I've told you this. I warned you.
Right, so seeing as people are here, we'll give Jamie a wee
5.
2 minutes. Then, so if there's anything you want to ask us while we're free, feel free just to pop in questions, or if you want a wee shout out, we can do that.
Do you want to maybe run through what our kind of plan is for tonight, just so people know, and then they can tune into it?
Do
you want me to do that?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't have the plan today.
So what our thoughts were, and it's very loose, it's not about us, it's about you guys. So we were just thinking maybe like starting off a little mood check, how everybody's been feeling lately. Then maybe introduce our topic for tonight was suicide, everyone's experience of it or not. So it might be that it's been a family member or a colleague, a friend. It might not have actually been you, but it still affects you in such a detrimental way. So we would like to hear like from everybody's experience of it. Then just see what comes up for everybody, and then maybe just offer a wee bit of support. I think that's my kind of role, just like interventions and coping strategies round about maybe how you could cope with suicidal ideation, and also signpost you to different places. And I'd said last week that I would practice safe place imagery, which I think is very fitting for this week because it's such a sensitive subject this week. And I think if people are willing to share or not, everybody's going to have sensitive stuff that they're going to have to deal with. So safe place imagery is just this visualization intervention that is really effective, and it just takes you out your own head, and you can use it for anything, but probably more for things like this that's really, really a sensitive thing that you find you can't get out your own head. So, and I will say the safe place imagery thing took me ages to get into, so when we try it out, honestly, don't feel if you can't get into it straight away, it's something you really need to practice like every other intervention. And then I think a little check out at the end just to make sure if anybody has shared anything or if us guys have shared anything that we all feel safe to leave the chat. And if we don't, then we've got signposts that me and Keith have set up tonight, I think. Have we, Keith?
Well, something like that. It should be in the description, or it will be in the description by the end of it.
Just so that when we're not live and there isn't other opportunities for a bit of support, you do know where to go out with. So that's pretty much our agenda tonight, but that could change depending on what people are bringing to the chat. So we'll see how it goes.
So, on the back of that, welcome to our podcast. This is our, fifth one now?
Yeah.
We're racking them up. We've got, as you can see, our three hosts again are myself, Lisa, and Jamie, the silent member. He just doesn't talk. He's just like the man that just sits there. Can't get rid of him. He just keeps coming back.
I'm just here to make it look good.
You do that, baby. But, as Lisa said, today's topic is suicide, something that is close to probably a lot of our hearts and something that pretty much everybody in A New Hope has had to deal with some sort of extreme, from being thoughts to actual attempts or completion. So at any point, please, if you feel any distress, let us know and we'll do our best to contact you and help you out. We know this is a hard subject to talk about. So apart from that, welcome, and let's crack on a little. And remember,
so how's everyone feeling this week then?
Me, my young little children are driving me nuts, but that's just one thing. That's typical for kids. Well, here's one of them right now. It's like a queue. It's like, oh look, Richard, kids, quick! By the way, that's J2 all that he's having, not a Budweiser. Apart from that, no, I'm actually level. I'm fine. Thank you very much, Jamie. Oh, where's our name from?
Me, know that I can pinpoint actually what's been happening this week. I know within myself I've had quite a mixed bag this week. Felt quite ups and downs. I don't know if it's just because been a bit tired. I've done quite a bit of work this week, which I'm not used to. My 9 to 5 is actually a 9 to 5 these days, no 9 to 3 and travel the rest of it. But other than that, absolutely fine. Bought myself a wee tiki bar today as a wee project to titivate up so that we can get our AGM on the go. So that was quite a good day today. So, but I'll go on to standby tomorrow, so I'll not be. My days turn into full, nearly 24-hour days for a week, so that could be quite a sore one. But hey ho, we'll get there. It's only a week.
Of course we will. You'll get there. You'll be
Other than that, today I'm fine.
Lisa,
I've had a really good weekend actually. As you all know, I've been studying for 2 years. So I'm kind of trying to make up quality time with a wee man, Flynn, a wee boy at 4. And I suppose my 18-year-old, he's back home. So we went to Largs yesterday. We had a great day out, absolutely great. That is mine and Flynn's thing. It's just, we used to every Friday, his treat day for being such a good boy all week would be his day out, which then became in lockdown something off the internet. So now we're going back out. It's actually exhausting. I was exhausted last night, and I don't even think it's about fitness because I've been out running and stuff like that. It's just about being in the fresh air all day, I think, and tackling the new procedures and everything, it's quite mind dominating. So every shop's different. So I don't know, I was just felt exhausted last night. And normally I would have a glass of wine on a Saturday night and I just didn't really feel it. So I was like, sat with my big bottle of water, quite content, had a great day. And then today Jordan and Flynn had quality time watching a movie, and I thought I'll just walk Harry for a couple of hours, get the dog out. So I felt really good, and then me and Flynn weeded the garden all afternoon. He loves to help doing things like that, so really good actually. And I feel quite healthy as well.
It's always a pleasure.
Healthy mind, healthy body, I think. Or healthy body, healthy mind. Don't know what's the two ways.
No, that's fine. I mean, we all seem to be quite good. How's everybody who's watching? You know, we want to talk to you people, because obviously
Yeah.
what we're here for is for you guys, as well as us rambling every week
Yeah.
about our own issues. We would like to hear yours, please. We want something new.
Yeah, it'd be good if the people that are commenting could comment a wee bit further if they felt comfortable to do that.
We're all nice here, I promise.
We are. We're kind. We're gentle. Supportive.
I only bite sometimes.
Well,
Jamie, you're the least one that bites.
Yeah,
Jamie's the least one that bites.
because I'm the silent partner.
you're so silent that, nobody talks to you. See?
Exactly. I like
Scared.
it that way. I'm not a social animal these days.
So,
So do you want me to go over some stats while people are getting involved, maybe?
yeah, let's have
That'd be
some
good.
suicide stats for good Sunday listening.
I know, I'm not going to go too deep because I'm not going to go too deep because it can get quite depressing. So I'm just going to briefly just give an overview of what's going on just now. And my research proposal for my qualification was actually on suicide in males in North Ayrshire. So it's quite fitting for today. So I will just briefly go over what I find and what I think there's lack of, which is massive. And I actually think I got
exhaustive, is it?
Yeah, I got a really high mark in my proposal, so I think I'm going to take it forward as part of the North Ayrshire strategy, but I've not got that far yet, so I'm just putting it out there with you guys tonight. But I'll start with the campaign against living miserably as a leading movement against suicide. So every week, 125 people in the UK take their own lives, and 75% of the UK suicides are male. So that's massive.
It's scary.
So when I was doing my research, my title was how effective CBT would be as an intervention for reducing suicidal ideation and the proposed reduction in suicide attempt in adolescent males in North Ayrshire. Massive big title. Quite a simple thing though, just can CBT actually prevent suicide? That's all that means. Nobody has actually researched this locally, so I'm the first to, if I go ahead with it, do it. And the only local research that we've had lately is, by the way, this interest stems from 6 years ago when my son was at high school, and he came home every day reporting 2 or 3 of his friends committing suicide, not attempting, it was completing suicide. And then when I looked into it, it was across North Ayrshire. It was at a certain age as well, it was between 15 to 19. Between that time frame, which I I found was from, you want me to find it? It was 2012 to 2016. It was predominantly that age group, and it was predominantly North Ayrshire. When there was a wee bit of research done over the whole of Ayrshire, and North Ayrshire was deemed the most deprived and the most prevalent for suicide within that age group.
Definitely.
And I also spoke to the head teacher of a local academy, and he said his job role had changed. So from a Monday to a Wednesday, he didn't teach. He did not teach. He sorted out all the mental health issues over social media that happened over the weekend, every weekend. So he didn't actually have a teaching role until about a Wednesday, Thursday that day. It's so prevalent. However, North Ayrshire have identified this as a problem. So the National Health Service released a review on the state of child health Ayrshire and Arran response to challenging mental health in 2017. And from this, they identified North Ayrshire was the target area, not only a local level, but a national level. And it had significant increase in recommendations to make children and mental health services more available to people. And between 2012 2016, 68% increased of referrals from CAMS, the CAMS service, it's Child and Mental Health Services. That increased by 68% from GPs, schools, teachers, nurses, educational psychologists, and social work departments.
That's actually terrifying.
It is terrifying.
Especially if you're a parent and the kids are at an academy or high school.
But it also identifies you might be somebody in your 20s and your 30s that's suffering with this, but where does it start? It starts possibly in your childhood, and that's why it gets so big later on in life. Not for everyone, but could be for other people. We've also got the National Health Service Public Health Observatory 2018 identified between 2013 and 2017. Bearing in mind, people in this local area are only starting to identify without this identified period of time. Before that, who knows? It might just have went unrecognised or undiagnosed or unsupported, I suppose. But the probable suicide rate was 2.5 times higher in most deprived areas, which was North Ayrshire again.
Doesn't surprise me.
And again, it was stated there was a more need for research within North Ayrshire among adolescent boys with suicide ideation and interventions to reduce the prevalence. And that was my proposal going forward, is that I think I'm going to go ahead with it, if I'm honest, because I'm going to propose it towards the North Ayrshire strategy that they're trying to reduce the poverty of the whole thing. So early intervention's the way forward, I think. And I think I've got grounds to go on with it, if I'm honest. Got a high mark in it. Guy thinks that I've got a good chance of getting somewhere with it. So it's hard work though, it's the only thing, but be worth it.
It will be, definitely, especially if you can help people. More the chance of completing suicide or even attempting.
There's no actual research that CBT has ever been put out there to see if that was an intervention to prevent ideation or completion. And I think that is my proposal. It's just, well, let's try it. Why not try it and see?
Definitely. No, I think that's great to get on with.
Yeah.
Oh, here we've got
So I suppose that's my kind of story.
we've got a comment from Yvonne Edward? For some reason it's not showing names, it just says Facebook user.
Do you know what it is, Keith? It's went live on the Anyone group, which is a closed group. It's not went live on the page, so you can't share it or anything. And then obviously all the comments the users will come up because it's private, so you don't get to see who they are.
Fair enough. I'll just keep jumping back and forth. And that was my fault. Our IT guy is not here, so with comms, it's the length of time.
Week
Length
five,
of waiting list to
week
get
5 teething problem.
Aye. Then if they deem kids need help, there's another waiting list.
Yeah, we totally get that, and I think that's my aim into this whole research is like, yeah, this whole research would be free. Like, it would be free of charge. People wouldn't be asked to pay for their CBT. The research would be, in fact, I don't want to go into it, it's a massive thing. It would be, it's a longitudinal study, so it would be, well, I'm not going into it. If anybody does want to ask me, they can private message me, can they?
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah, but it's not something that's going to be charged. It would reduce waiting lists and things like that, like what we're trying to do by doing our voluntary groups and stuff like that. So it's not going to be at cost to anybody.
Well, that's something that's quite interesting for people as well.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that put people off, I think, about going private.
Yeah, and I think I want to put that out there as well. Like, research isn't for a financial gain, it's for benefit to the professional work and organisations and people that are going to benefit from it. It's not a financial gain thing.
Superb. And thank you for the comment. And
yeah.
So now we've done the stats, and now this is to best us a little.
I know. Apologies,
it's really interesting, to be honest. Should we have a wee chat about our own experiences with suicide?
Yeah.
I think, to be fair, this whole podcast is going to be a bit heavy.
A bit down.
For peeps, definitely. Yeah. So, anybody want to start here, or?
I'll take the first one if you want.
Go for it.
Obviously, I'm quite open about my experience of the last kind of couple of years anyway. So, I'll get a brief rundown for the beginning, and then I'll get in a wee bit of depth of how I felt just before the group, and then I'll kind of call a close at that because it'll probably get quite painful. But I've suffered chronic depression and bad anxiety for as long as I can remember. I've been getting treated for kind of late teens, early 20s. I had a bad breakup in my early 20s that kind of tipped me over the edge a wee bit. Done counselling and on medication, and kind of managed to nurse and steer my way through my 20s, to be honest. But everything started to get a bit better. The age I'm now 34, nearly 35. So I met my wife, Gillian, 10, 11 years ago. And as I said, everything was rosy in the garden. I had kids, house, white picket fence, good job. And then all of a sudden, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I started to feel it. You can feel it coming. It's quite hard to explain. It's like a dark cloud. You start to feel a bit low. Your weeks, you'll get maybe one day of the week where you really lose motivation, you're tired, and you just can't go out the bit. And then that day seems to snowball into maybe 2. Then obviously snowballs into 3. But I like to think of myself as the master behind the smile. So I'd probably be a good actor if I could base a film about my life. I can hide it really, really well. But that is obviously some telltale signs, but they don't tend to come out until it's at its worst. So I spent a good year or so dicing with myself and fighting the thoughts, even before I went back to the doctor for medication. And I thought I was winning, but clearly I wasn't. So the smile and the facade that you put on starts to become part of you, and then you start to get to the stage where you don't know how you feel because you don't feel anything. Now, I felt as if I was failing. I felt as if I was failing as a dad. I felt as if I was failing as a husband. I felt really, really down. Felt as if I was failing the family, and I clearly wasn't. I was bringing home the money. My kids were happy. Everything. There wasn't. The only arguments was the odd bit of crabbit. But that small crabbit, that small argument, that small shout felt massive in my head. I felt as if as soon as anything like that happened, that was me. That a little bit of me died when things like that happened. And then I started. How long's the group been going? A year, so maybe about a year and a half ago. Started getting really, really bad suicidal thoughts. But the suicidal thoughts came and the suicidal thoughts went. I didn't at that point feel as if it was anything to really worry about. It's not as if I hadn't had them in the past. The only difference being is I felt as if, as I said, I had everything. So I had, but no matter how much you have, the pain that you're going through, the mental, physical, inside pain that was grinding me up inside takes over everything. It takes over. People say it's the kids that get me through, but see, when you get to that stage, unfortunately, the only person that matters, as selfish as it sounds, is yourself. You feel as if no matter what you do, you're hurting the kids. You feel as if no matter what you do, you're hurting your family. And the only way to get rid of the pain that's inside you is to go away. And that's where I was. Now, there'll be a lot of people out there that will have seen me a year and a half ago, maybe 13 months ago, 14 months ago, and would never, ever have thought in a million years what was happening. But it was very, very close.
Mhm.
And then I had it planned. I had the bridge planned. I had the time, the day I was going to do it. I had everything all planned to the point where it was going to happen. And it was, believe it or not, I was having a drink on the Saturday night with Gillian, and it kind of all came out then. Gillian had noticed there was things not right and kind of cornered me a wee bit. But obviously with the drink, I was probably a bit more open and honest than I would have been if I hadn't had a drink. So probably the 1 in a million chance the drink possibly saved my life that night. And then, so I obviously had the conversation with her over the weekend, and then got my family involved, my mum specifically. And then, funnily enough, I think it was that week in the Herald, Keith, beautiful wee face there, wee happy face, his wee poster, signposting us to this new, at that time, it was the male mental health group, and it kind of went for there. So I made a point that I was going to try it because it was the end of the line. This was last resort stuff for myself, and lo and behold, I went. The hardest step I think I've ever had to take in my life. Walking through the doors, didn't know what to expect, and it was probably a bit of an awakening for me to see other guys there, just genuinely nice guys that have got that are worse off than me, guys that are better off than me, but no judgment. Guys that have been in the trenches and pulled themselves back out, and after that first night, it was strength to strength for me. Just knowing that I had people there that I could turn to and talk to, and they weren't going to talk down to me or just offer me a drink or listen, come on, you straighten yourself up a bit. It's not that bad, but it was just so enlightening. Yeah, and as I said, now nearly a year down the line, and I can honestly say, for as long as I can remember, I have never felt so mentally strong. Never felt so mentally strong. I'm doing things now that, I mean, even to the point, I know we've spoken about it 2 or 3 times as well, about the fitness and the health, and I would never have done that. Never in a million years. And I just feel as if I feel as if I could do anything right now. I really do. And it's solely down to the group and the backup for everybody that's involved. And the fact that I know that if I do have a dark day or if I do have something on my mind, I can pick up the phone and I can phone 10, 15 people off the bat that I know could help me in an instant. And that's you can't buy that. Fantastic. And that kind of causes my brush with suicide. That's my experience. I didn't obviously conclude it, but I know how I felt.
That's amazing, Jamie. Absolutely amazing for sharing that, and really brave and courage.
Yeah, if I can tell somebody that story and somebody listens to it and they hear that and they see where I am now and that helps somebody, that's enough for me. That's why I'm as open about it now, because I feel as if shutting it away, it didn't help me either. Do you know what I mean? So it's about time we shared our stories and got out there and showed everybody that it does happen.
A message there from Andy Murray saying you've got his number.
To who?
It is Andy Murray. Mahari.
Andy Mahari, good man.
Tomato.
Thanks, Andy.
So my story is a little different to Jamie's. For most of my life, I was put down, ignored, made fun of. Also, I had a close-knit group of friends, but living at home with my parents and stuff was just not a good situation, shall we say. Came up to here when I was 21, when I was, 27, 28 now? When I was 28, my wife and I were, we had a kid, and I have a kid from a previous relationship, and we're in this one-bedroom little flat, and it was just constant stress. And I don't even know what it was, because what happened, if I'm honest, because the week before, I don't really remember. I have no recollection of the week. And obviously, after, I don't have any recollection as well. I took 190 tramadol. I should have been dead, really. And that's enough to kill most folk. I don't know how I'm even still here. Thankfully, I am. I was in an induced coma for a few days. Woke up, no idea what happened. They tried asking me. But yeah, it was horrible. It took me, I don't know what, 6 months maybe before I could really eat, drink, talk, move about. My body was, it did a number on itself. I believe I was seizing loads, and I was in and out of consciousness. That's why they put me in the drug-induced coma. But yeah, being, as Jamie said, being depressed and suicidal is unfortunately very, very selfish in a way, because it is, you're the only person that you're thinking about. You are like you do think that, oh man, you're the worst thing ever. You've done this bad. You've done that bad. Would you be better not being here? Are you the problem? If you weren't here, could this be better? If you weren't here, would that be better? And all this sort of stuff. And as Jamie said, it's not something you do lightly. Generally, I mean, I don't really remember, because my brain is just blanked out a whole week. That was 6 years ago, and I still don't remember that week. I don't remember after as well. My 30th birthday, the week after, I woke up and I don't remember my birthday. There's pictures of me. I don't remember. But it's a very, it's not something that you take lightly. It's not something that you just wake up generally and go, I'm going to do it. You know, it's something that's been weighing on your mind for months, years. It could be any amount of time. And it's, I don't know where I'm going with this now, but it's just it's not nice at all. It's not something that you should ever, it's not really something anybody should do, but it's not something that's ever a decision taken lightly. And no matter who is around you, who's supporting you, I think there's a point of no return for most people. Once you're too far, you're too far. And after you've made that decision, and I don't think there's any stopping you. That's why things like groups, seeing the right people when you are feeling down is vital. Family, friends, if they pick up on it, ask. It's not much, just ask. Are you okay? And if they say no and you still not, you think the line, just go, are you sure you're okay? Don't just leave it. Just be there for the people. I'm just going to rabble on if I carry on there.
You're not rattling, Keith. That's massive.
And also,
thank you.
just to make me feel a bit better, here's my sister, Georgie. So proud of you, Keith. You're here for a reason. You're doing it.
That's
Oh,
lovely.
definitely. I was going to butt in and say that, but I thought I would let you rabble on. I just wish somebody hadn't got in before me. But that's what I was going to say. There's a reason why I didn't come to Friendship, Keith, because without you, this group wouldn't be here.
Very true.
And I know for a fact there's more than myself that we've managed to pull through this in the last year. And it's a few statistics that we don't need to factor in. So thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah. Well done, Keith.
Thank you. Also,
And Jamie. And you, Jamie. You might be a silent partner, but you're still a massive.
I think that leads. Well, I don't know. Maybe we should lighten the mood up a little. But anybody in the chat, is there anything you want to add to this very solemn conversation we're having? Does it need to be your own experiences? It could be where you've helped somebody or something you've done to make someone's day. Anything.
Or need help with a family member, or a peer, or a colleague, or a friend.
We are here. Here.
That's the biggest thing. The biggest thing. I know we rabble on about it quite a lot, but the biggest thing and the hardest thing to do is just talk.
Yes.
If it's a stranger that you need to talk to, I mean, the peer groups are here. You've got all sorts of other places that you can call if you can speak to a family member, because a family member or a friend is probably the hardest people to go to, even though they're the people that say that they're there for you. But having somebody there that possibly doesn't know you, doesn't know your background, that isn't going to judge you for anything, is a bit easier.
Definitely.
That's obviously part of the group and part of what we're hopefully trying to provide you with, a safe place, non-judgmental, fully confidential place to come and talk so that we can support and guide you through whatever you're going through at the time.
Definitely.
And if we do have time tonight, obviously it's up to the guys, it's their forum, but if we do have a wee 5 minutes, we could try out the safe place imagery, because...
Well, we can. We'll do that at the end. That's not an issue.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can get.
As I said, it's not something that comes natural to a lot of people. It didn't come naturally to me. I struggled with it at the start. I'm not good at shutting my eyes and taking myself somewhere else, but like everything else, you need to practice it. But this, for me and for most of my clients, has been the most effective relaxation technique. And it's called Safe Place Imagery because it's actually used for PTSD treatment. So when you're going into exposure therapy, when they find it really difficult, they can remove themselves to this safe place that they've secured in their mind. But it works for anybody. Works for anybody. Works for me. Totally works for me. And it has been, at the end of all my client sessions, I've asked for feedback, and this has been the most effective. So
we'll definitely do that before we leave. That's a definite.
yeah.
We'll lighten the mood up a little bit with our news section that we seem to have just shoehorned in a little there. Woo! Because we've got some pretty exciting news. I feel personally. Our website is finally live. You go here, look, www.anewhope.co.uk. Yes. We now have
Better write this down.
we have an online presence. Which also, in parts with the website being up, the book will start getting done soon as well. I'm not nervous whatsoever about doing this book thing. I'm just a brick in it. But the website is vital for the book itself, because we're going to be looking for people to invite the people to give their own stories, because it's a collaborative book where, just like a peer support group, we give our own stories and we give our own way that we've handled, or we have strategies in place to help us, which gives people that can't get home or don't have the means to get the help just a bit of a pick-me-up or whatever they need it to go to this book, open it up, read a story and go, I could try that. Like Safe Place Imagery, I can look up that and see what that is, and we'll try that for a bit of time and see how that goes. Or flip through and go, I'm not as bad as what I thought I was. Look, so this person's had it worse. So how did they cope? Oh, brilliant, superb. Then there'll be other stuff like numbers, like we have on the description at the bottom of where to go for places and other bits and bobs. But our big thing is we need people to come along and share their stories. That's again where the website comes in. You log into the excuse me. You can log into the website, and in the back office of the website, you'll get your own wee page. You can write your story there. That way, myself, I can go through it, look at it. If there's anything that needs slightly changed or altered or whatnot, straight feedback instead of us trying to get a hold of each other. So if anybody is wanting to help out and join in with this grand experiment and hopefully help somebody in the future, please email our new email address as well. Showing in all the new stuff here. Contact at anewhope.co.uk. I will put it up because I forgot to do this as a banner. It's been one of those days, right, where everything has just gone haywire. But that's the website. That's the email address down there. If you want to be involved, we're covering a grand array of issues, and mental and physical. So we can discuss more if you want in emails. Please. That's it for news, I think. Unless anybody else has anything they want to share.
I think I had something, but I can't really remember what it is. One of the ones that when you said news, I'm like, yes, and then I was listening to you there, and it just pushed it right to the other side of my head.
Your news is that you've got a bar outside your house. I'll give you his address later to everybody.
That is my news. I have my project. Well, mine and so I do.
But yeah, please come along and visit the website. Your safe place.
It could well be, can it?
Does anybody watching have any news? Anything they want to share? If not, we will carry on to our next bit. This is something that is quite important as well when it comes to feeling suicidal or depressed, which is interventions and coping strategies. Now, I believe that our other co-presenter, Susanna, was going to be discussing this, but she's lovingly sent everything over to Lisa. So for
No,
now,
I agreed to it last week anyway, so I think she was going to try something different, but I feel this is more fitting for
we'll give Lisa
what we've discussed today anyway. So it linked in quite nicely, but it can be absolutely used for anything. Panic attacks, probably predominantly, PTSD, depression, anxiety, just not sleeping at night, insomnia. I use it if I can't sleep at night. So I honestly think it can just be, I think it's, for me in my experience, it's like the most effective that I've experienced with clients and myself so far.
Well, you've got the floor, so go for it.
Okay, so are you guys all sitting somewhere comfortably? Everybody that's listening as well? Okay, so when we're talking about a safe place, it can't be your home or your bed or your bedroom.
Oh.
Okay? So you have to think outside the box. So get comfortable. I know it's hard to find a quiet place when you've got kids, but kind of try just now just to get into the moment so that you don't get disturbed. Just take a couple of minutes to focus on your breathing. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. When I started doing this, I couldn't close my eyes, but now I know closing my eyes is the most effective part of this. If you can't close your eyes, focus on something that will gain your focus through this whole chat. And you start to become aware of any tension in your body. And you start to let that tension go with each breath, focusing on your breathing throughout. So imagine a place where you feel calm, peaceful, and safe. It may be a place you've been to before, somewhere you've dreamed about going to, somewhere you've seen a picture of, or just a peaceful place you can create in your mind's eye. Look around you in that place. Notice the colours and the shapes. What else do you notice? Then notice the sounds that are around you, or perhaps the silence. Sounds far away, or those nearest to you. Those that are more noticeable and those that are more subtle. Think about any smells you notice there. Then focus on any sensations. The earth beneath you, or what is supporting you in that place. The temperature. Any movement of air. just anything you can touch. Notice the pleasant physical sensation in your body whilst you're enjoying this safe place experience. Now, whilst you're in this peaceful and safe place, you might choose to give it a name. Whether one word or one phrase that you can use to bring that image back anytime you need it. You can choose to linger there for a while, just enjoying the peacefulness and sincerity. You can leave whenever you want. Just bring yourself back by opening your eyes and being aware of where you are now, and bringing yourself back into the awareness of the here and now of our group.
I think Jamie's asleep. He's kind of asleep. Look at him. Oh, he's back.
Oh,
How did you find
you said
that?
you could linger.
Yeah, you could linger as long as you want. How did you find
Not when
that?
you're on camera.
Yeah, don't go sleep on camera. I mean, linger. I personally like safe place imagery. I've done it a few times, not as often as
Yeah.
I could, but it's good. It's definitely got its place to help folk.
Yeah.
But as you said, like everything, it's
100%.
practice.
I think what you need to do is record it as well. Like maybe even get somebody else to, with a calming voice, to record it for you so you can play it back. You couldn't read it to yourself and get the proper benefit from it. So if that helps anybody tonight, that would be grateful. People, I don't know, can they record? Well, they can record this, can't they?
Mm-hmm.
Or they can watch it back.
I think I want Stephen Fry to do mine.
I know you choose your celebrity voice. I want Tom Hardy to do mine.
And, I like that.
Aye, that would be a safe place. Safe word.
Hey, this is a PG-13.
That is a PG. That's why I just said safe word.
Hey,
I could have written a lot more detail.
You go back to having your phoenix in your face.
Oh man.
That's what you get, phoenix face. But no, that was really nice. I like that. That's safe place, which is really good.
Yeah, and do you know, we can revisit it at any point, and there's other relaxation techniques as well. But that's just personal for me that I really get a lot out of that one.
I like that one.
I thought I would share it with you guys and everybody that's watching. If they want to try it out, then
he's superstar. Does anybody else want to make a wee comment on safe place imagery if you've used it, or if you have any other strategies that you'd like to use? We are here for your amusement as well.
I just run a wee quick one by you. What do you think about having a safety plan?
Rap, yes. Now, if anybody doesn't know what rap is, this is the best thing. Everybody should know what this is and try this. It's a wellness recovery action plan. It's basically set up into stages. So how you are when you're normal, how you are when you start feeling down, how you are when you get worse, and how you are when you're in crisis, but also what you do in those situations. So say, for instance, you're when you are just starting to feel down, listening to your favorite song, or I don't know, watching a TV show that you really like, and that cheers you up. So what you do is put that on, obviously, but you're only feeling down, so you know about that. When you start feeling worse, it could be you have to go out for a walk, or you have to go and see somebody, like a friend, family member, so on and so forth. So you go and do that. But when you're really at crisis, what do you do then? Now, if you've ever been in crisis at any point, your mind goes about 500 miles an hour. You have no idea what you're doing. You're just focusing on this one issue. Yeah. What rap is instead of you trying to organize your thoughts and try and get something, try and remember what you do or what to do while you're at crisis, you just go to this rap, this booklet, pictures, whatever, open up, look at the crisis bit, and instead of you trying to go, oh, I do this, this, and this, it's there for you. You look at it, you read it, You do it. Obviously, you do this when you are in a good mood, you're feeling fine. But I think anybody that has some form of mental health, which could end up as crisis, depression, PTSD, bipolar, all that sort of stuff, rap is something you should really look into, because it is phenomenal how much knowing or having it wrote down what makes you calm can do, instead of you trying to do it yourself, fight it yourself. You've got it there in black and white, you know what it does, you do it.
Yeah. So Keith, can I suggest something? In the past I've used safety cards. Mm-hmm. So what that is just a simplified version of every eventuality that could possibly come up and what you would do within that situation, who you would contact, and it's just a visual that people can just pick up.
Yeah, rap can be safety cards.
It's probably the same thing.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's just rap can be version. It can be really in depth. You can have them like 30 pages long if you wanted. Obviously, I don't recommend that, because obviously when you want to do is flick through. But
so this is just like a 4-page of tiny little cards. So it's kind of like relapse prevention we do with people. So we'll go through maybe third, second, last session, and we'll put up, right, so what do you feel you might struggle with in the future? So they'll come up with that, and then we'll work through how they would deal with that. Mm-hmm. And then we'd leave a couple of spare cards, just because we can't deal with every eventuality, and they have to deal with their own stuff eventually anyway. So then
it's basically the same thing. It's just rap's more sort of focused on the big, like, suicide, so it's like,
no, that's the same. The safety cards. Yeah.
Rap doesn't need to be a book. It could be safety cards. It could be a note on the wall. As long as whatever works for you works. As long as it's there where you can see it without having to try to think. Oh yeah, there's some subjects I could talk about for hours.
I could send it over to you, Keith, and you could. I don't know. Different things work for different people. So the more visual cues people have,
the more tools in your bag, the better.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything else? Does anybody else want to comment on any sort of strategies they have, or anybody here think of any more strategies?
I think just touching into your senses, just like we did with the safe place imagery. I think that was just covering every single sense. Mm-hmm. Just like just whatever works for you. Like when you are feeling really low, and I know suicide was a different thing, but just maybe light a candle and watch the flame, just to take your head out, take your mind out your own head. Watch the stars at night, just totally zone out of your own head. Listen to your music of your choice, something that excites you or soothes you, whatever you feel works for you. Maybe scented candles, favourite smells, bake a cake, cook, whatever works. Make a coffee, that might be your thing. And just like people really like comforting and a touch. So if you could find something that really comforted you, that you could just, I know I've got a blanket and it sounds really young and immature, but I cuddle into my wee green blanket every night down the stairs. But that is my tired comforting thing, and that totally works for me. And if I did feel stressed, I would turn to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always there. It's in my living room. It hangs over the back of the couch. It's never out with my visual field. So it's always there.
If it works, it works.
It does work. It totally works.
My beard.
Yeah, a lot of guys do that, I think.
Aye.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Play the call.
Still on down. 2 minutes.
But can I have something really cool?
You can have a phone.
Thank you.
Here you go. 2 minutes.
You're,
On that note, we've got a little
you're cool.
whopper again. Is there anything the viewers want to ask or say to us before we sign off for the evening? This has been a bit of a longer one than usual, but as I said at the start, this is a subject that's close to our hearts, which we can talk about for.
Yeah. I think maybe just check out with everybody as well. Make sure everybody's feeling all right. It's been a very sensitive subject, and make sure the listeners and the watchers and all of us are feeling all right to check out. Feel safe.
Tam Etchlin from Facebook has said there's an aquarium in America that's live streams its tanks with carbon music. Ooh.
That would be something to look into.
That's definitely something to have a wee look at. If you have the link, that would be phenomenal. If not, we'll find it.
Yeah, that would be really helpful if we could.
Because as we have our website, we can link it on there.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for that. Yeah.
Sam, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's brilliant. So, as we said, we'll have a wee check out, then we'll say our wee thing at the end, and then that'll be us. So, how is everybody feeling after that? That video? It was quite a hard one to probably watch, especially if you've had some sort of you've been touched by suicide in some way, shape, or form. So we really want to make sure that everybody's okay, and if anybody's needing any extra support after this, we will be. Obviously, we have our groups and stuff. You can always contact us on there or private message us. So if anybody has anything they want to say before we go.
But then, did you not put on the further support, Keith?
That's something.
Probably we're not.
Just
Is it not? Well, just let it available. That it will be available at some point.
Callum, one of our newest members to the mail group, has put up. I'd potentially like to open up and talk during one of these.
Wow.
Well, that's something we can look into. If anybody from groups want to come on and give their story about something, we could have to arrange that and get you on.
That would be amazing.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be amazing.
Callum's just turned up and he's changing it.
Every week.
You get a new face to look at.
New face and a new voice.
Especially us three. Jesus. That's a good idea, Cal. We'll talk to you about that during the week as well. That's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's great. Also, we'll have. Oh, here's the link for the cameras.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.
I'm watching that tonight.
I don't think I'll read it tonight. I'm knackered.
Thank you very much, Tam. It's fantastic. I'll leave that up to Leave. Oh, and we have Joy Chung.
We're buzzing tonight. We're buzzing tonight.
You're all doing a wonderful job to be there or the one speaking about this, but it helps hearing other people's stories and knowing someone is going through some of the same struggles.
Oh, thank you.
That's fun. Thank you very much, Joy.
Thank you.
That's brilliant. As well, Joy, you know I'm always there for you as well, man. Just shoot us over a message. It's one of my pals. You know, I eventually have one friend.
One other friend that isn't on the chat.
He's my friend now, not yours. And this is Tam again. We will put this up so that it's in the other group, so your names actually do pop up. That was my last minute quick set this up before we go on live. Good work. We will do our best. Thank you very much. I think that is the most participation we've ever had. Thank you very much, everybody. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, well done, everybody. It was a tough subject. Well done, guys. Proud of you.
As I say, remember, we're always here, or somebody's here on one of the groups. We'll be able to chat to you if you need it, or in private. Now, as this is the end, we'll say our wee goodbyes. We didn't, as I said, this last minute, so we don't have a topic for next week yet, but we will post it on the group, possibly during the week. I'll leave that to Jamie. He's our. So if anything goes wrong, his fault next week. Please remember, we're here for you. Please join our social medias, which are displayed somewhere, I believe. This is why we need another person to do the tech stuff. I can't do it all.
You're doing great, Keith, though.
Join our social medias. We'd love to see you there. As I say, we are a peer support. We will do our best to help in any way we can. But if you do need more help than just peer support, remember there's always your doctors there. And before that, you've also got the Samaritans breathing space. You can always phone, if you're in England, 111, or Scotland, Britain. You can phone 111. Or if it's a crisis and you feel you're imminent to go do something, then obviously contact 999. All the numbers for Samaritans breathing space are in the description below. Thank you very much again for joining us. We'll hopefully see you in the next one. Remember, please, to subscribe, like, and hit that bell notification. Thank you very much.
Share.
Oh, share us everywhere.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
Because we're lovely, you see, so you want to share us. See you later. Bye-bye.